So good morning. Today we'll discuss about the tools and techniques. In the last class, we discussed about the benchmarking, information technology, and all those. And today we are going to discuss about the quality by design. Quality by design. So quality function deployment is also discussed. So today we are going to discuss with the quality by design. So quality by design. What is meant by quality by design? So it is a practice of using a multidisciplinary team. It is a practice of using a multidisciplinary team. Multidisciplinary team in the sense which is consists of all the departments like your business, engineering, production, and all those. So a team to conduct the conceptual thinking, product design, and production planning. And the quality by design is also known as concurrent engineering, simultaneous engineering, or parallel engineering. It is also have the naming of concurrent engineering, which can be happen at a particular same point of time, at same point of so concurrency. So that is why it's also called as concurrent engineering, simultaneous engineering, or parallel engineering. So quality by design is the practice of using the multidisciplinary team to conduct the conceptual thinking, product design, and production planning. And the team, as we told that this multidisciplinary team consists of or composed of specialists from business, engineering, production, and customer base. From all the departments, they are going to compose of. This system provides immediate feedback, which prevents the problems with the quality and productivity from occurring. That is why it gives the lead time is going to be high in this case. That's why the system provides immediate feedback, which prevents the problem with the quality and productivity from occurring. So quality by design is a team of, as we told that here, it is a consists of specialists, which is from the business, engineering, production, customer base. So here it is a team of specialists who simultaneously design and develop a product. So they are parallelly they are going to design and develop a product to ensure the ease of producibility and customer satisfaction. To ensure the ease of producibility and customer satisfaction. Now, in quality by design, as I told that engineering is nothing but there are departments from mechanical department, electrical department, structural department, quality department, and material department. So from all these functions, so in quality by design, engineering, production and business is nothing but such as purchasing, marketing, and finance, as well as suppliers and customers all sit together and they brainstorm to develop a product. So they brainstorm together to develop a product, and that consider all facets of its functionality as well as cost. So cost is we need to look into the very important factor. That's why in the quality by design, all these departments, the multidisciplinary departments will sit together and then brainstorm together, and then they are going to develop a product. They are going to develop a product by keeping all into the minds that cost and functions. When each of these specialists has early input to the product definition and specification, cost is minimized and performance is going to be maximized, because we have given all the inputs early. In the later stages, the inputs of the regarding the products, the definitions as well as the product specification, they are given early inputs. So the cost is going to be minimized and as well as performance is going to be maximized. So that the better quality products are manufactured. The better quality products are manufactured for less cost with shorter time to market. Thus, better quality products are manufactured for less cost with the short time market. Means time to market is very less. Time to market is very less. So it is that is the how the quality by design is going to be useful. And again, getting the inputs at the beginning from all the areas, as I told that we are giving the early inputs. We are giving the early inputs from each specialist, from each of the specialists in designing a product and specification, in designing product and specification. So that gives that inputs at the beginning of the from all the areas, which eliminates the engineering changes later in the project. So that will help us the any changes in the projects later. So that's why the inputs is given in the beginning itself. And sequential engineering, when you talk about the sequential engineering, where it requires repeated steps of redesign, re-verification, and re-prototype in order to compile all the previous design stages. There is a longer lead time in the case of sequential engineering. So lead time in the case of sequential engineering is longer. So if you look at this diagram, so this is what we can call as a product development flow diagram. Product development flow diagram. Here I have given two types. One is the sequential engineering, and if I adopt the quality by design, see how it is going to be beneficial in the case of quality by design. So this is what the product flow diagram, product development flow diagram, how the product is developed. So that is how in the sequential engineering, if you look at this sequential engineering, one over the, I mean, first the product's definition is done, then the design of the product is taken place, and then verification, then developing a prototype, then going with the redesigning of it, then re-verification of it, and re-prototype of it, then test generation, then it will go to the manufacturing, then after that it goes to the testing. So these are all the steps involved in the sequential engineering. One after the other. The sequentially it is going to the functions is going to happen one after the other. In the sense, see, once the product definition is done, then it will goes with the design, then verification. So this is what it is going to be happening. Whereas in the case of quality by design, see, all design is the phase where it related with all the other functions, other departments. Here, the customer, engineering department, manufacturing department, marketability, all this will be considered in the design phase. So in the product definition phase, we are taking the engineering department, manufacturing department, customers and suppliers will be taken into consideration in defining a product, because it has to, so ultimately the product which you are going to produce has to satisfy the customer. So customers are also involved in this particular product definition as well. So here, if you look at this design phase, everybody in the organization will be involved in the design phase itself. So it is a concurrency is occurring here. This is why quality by design. This is what the quality by design. So in the sequential engineering, what we have done is repeated steps in redesign, re-verification, and re-prototype. In this case here, say re-prototype means, say for example here, the whatever the parameters in the design phase we are considered is what? Only performance, cost, marketability, and aesthetics. These are the only four parameters we have considered in the design phase in the case of sequential engineering. Whereas if you go to the after prototype development, then once again you need to reconsider all these other factors which are called as manufacturability, and whether it is producible or not, and testability, serviceability, quality, and reliability. All these is considered in the redesign phase. So here it is a two times you are doing the repeating the same thing, redesigning, re-verification, re-prototype. So it is a kind of time consuming. When compared to this, quality by design. So in the case of quality by design, all are occurring at the in the quality by design engineering model. However, the initial design phase incorporates all the which are mentioned in this particular attributes. So these are the mentioned attributes of performance, cost, marketability, aesthetics, and all these attributes. And all these attributes are mentioned in the design phase itself only. So we are not considered separately. This is a design phase and this is a redesign phase. So that is what the concurrent quality by design or concurrent engineering. That is how the help in the reducing time. And thus eliminating those. That's why we are eliminate this redesign phase in this case. We have the design phase, then verification phase, prototype, and then test generation. So here there is no redesign phase because we have incorporated all the attributes, all the design attributes in the design phase only. So whereas in the sequential engineering, we have taken only performance, cost, marketability, and aesthetics. These are the four attributes we have taken in the design phase. Then one comes to the prototype developed and then redesigning the other attributes. So other attributes are taken into consideration for redesigning the product. So this is how the sequential engineering reduces the time to market. So the sequential engineering, which you know that the longer lead time is involved in the sequential engineering. So longer lead time is with the product development. The product development takes time compared to the quality by design. So this is about the a product development flow diagram with respect to the sequential engineering, and if I implement the quality by design, in a particular organization, And what are the benefits of quality design? What are the benefits of quality by design? So generally, there are two benefits. One is primary benefits and the other benefits. So primary benefits, as we told, that significant decrease in the time to market. So as I told, that the lead time is going to be, in this case, as there is no redesign and re-verification, re-prototype phases. So there is a reduce in the lead time, reduce in the achievement. So That's why there is a very very benefit is by using the quality by design is decrease in the time to market, decrease in the time to market. So it is easily reach the market when compared to the sequential engineering. So other benefits are faster product development because all are concurrent at the design phase itself. All the inputs are given in the early stage, and better quality we are going to get, and less work when in progress, because when it is in progress, we have a less work. But in the case of sequential engineering, we have once again there is a work called redesigning, re-verification, re-prototyping. So additional work is there in the case of sequencing. But in the quality by design, we have less work when it is in progress. When it is in progress, that product development is in progress, then we have very less work because all the inputs are given in the design phase itself. And fewer engineering change orders. Fewer engineering change orders means, is there any problem with the engineering attributes? Then the very less change in the order, because we have taken care before it comes to the production stage. And also increased productivity. Productivity is also increased. Then teams, as I told that teams, multidisciplinary teams are there. So in the multidisciplinary teams, so teams must have a variety of backgrounds and expertise. Team must have a variety of backgrounds and expertise, and it must communicate. And it must think outside the box, stay flexible. So these teams has to think outside the box, and they should be flexible enough. So these are the teams what they have to do. And then if you look at this is a traditional organization. How the information is going to be passed. So it is a communication models, we can call it as communication model. So this is a traditional communication model, and one more is this is called as quality by design communication model. This is a quality by design communication model. So we have two models. One is a like sequence engineering and quality by design, like a traditional communication model, and the quality by design communication model. In the traditional communication model, see the communication passes from the from top level to the low level. Means it follow the hierarchy. So the organization management is given the communication passes to the business, engineering, and production departments. And in turn, this business will pass the information to the marketing, sales, and customer service in the case of business. And in the case of engineering, all the product quality related to engineering, all the departments related to engineering, they'll be receive the information from the engineering. So here it is called as communication flow path is a sequential. So here what they are going to do is, in this case is the marketing and customer sales, they are going to do their job with respect to the whatever the job they are assigned by the next, above the level in the sense business department. So business, whatever they assign the work, then these fellows are going to do the job. So here one if you look at this in this particular diagram, so there is no communication passing through the business to engineering, or engineering to production, or production to business. So there is no parallel communication among the departments, among the different functionalities. So here this is what we can call as traditional organization. But nowadays this is not useful by going, because we need to have the all the communication among the various department or various functions. So when we move to this the communication flow for sequential engineering, the communication flow for sequential engineering is in series, which has parallel communication flow, and the traditional model allows for many structured communication paths. The traditional model which allows many The traditional model allows for a many structured communication paths among similar functional units in the organization. So here, communication path among similar functional units, only in the similar functional units, in sense only in the case of, say for example, business only, and then engineering only, and then as well as production only. So the similar functionality, they have a communication, but not with the other functions. So in each level in the hierarchy should only perform the duties that are assigned from the level above. That's what we told. So the fellow who is working in this area, these have to do the job which are assigned by the next level, above level. Okay. So next we'll go with the quality by design organization. How the quality by design organization have the communication model. So if you look at here, the communication is happening from organization management to the all the three departments, and in turn there is a internal communication which is with the same function department, and as well as there is a communication between the business and production and business and engineering. So you have a communication among across all, communication across all. So if you look at this, this is what the concurrently, I mean, we are moving with the, you are moving with the combination of all this. So in the quality by design organizational structure, information paths are opened up. Means they are going to have the communication between the departments with the different disciplines, with the different disciplines. So if similarly, design engineers can consult with the production workers about difficulties. So design engineers can work with the other department, like production department. They can discuss with the problems which are arise. So likewise, there is a communication happen between the employees. Communication is happens between the employees. So what it talks about is in a quality by design organizational structure, information paths are opened up between the departments in different disciplines. So there is a, there is a relation. I mean, there is a communication flows from the one department to the other department also. In the case of quality by design, in the case of quality by design. Whereas in the primary advantage of this is going to be because we have a communication path between the employees, as it is having the communication between the other among the other departments also. We have a communication path between the employees. This is a primary advantage in the case of quality by design organizational structure. Quality by design organizational structure. So now in the organization, the tools, without the use of tools, without the use of these tools, quality by design will not be effective. Will not be effective. So the tools are very much required if I want to implement the quality by design in a particular organization. So what are the tools that we are going to use in the particular organization? So if we use properly, I mean, when proper mix of these tools, when the proper mix of these tools use, then we are going to achieve the reducing the lead times. We are going to achieve the reducing the lead times. We are going to achieve the reducing the lead times. So what are the tools which are going to use in a quality by design? So one is organizational tools, product development tools, production tools, statistical tools. There are the four types of tools they are going to use. One is the organizational tools and the product development tools and production tools, statistical tools. So what is meant by organizational tools? What it does? So it is going to improve the communication and understanding among the all the different various functions, and product development tools, which improves the, I mean, which decrease the product development time. Product development will be reduced if I use these product development tools. If I use the product development tools. So what are those tools which we discussed? And production tools. If I use the production tools, you can improve the quality of manufacturing. You can improve the quality of manufacturing so that the quality of the products also increased. So that the quality of the products also improved. And also it decreases the production time. It decreases the production time. And what are the statistical tools? What it does? Statistical tools allows studying and targeting of variables affecting the design, testing, and productions. They are going to study the variables. They are going to study the variables which are affect the design, testing, and production. So different statistical tools which are going to be used, we are going to discuss. So we'll go one by one. So who are going to use these organization tools? Who are going to use the product development tools? And who are going to use the production tools? And who are going to use the statistical tools in the organization? So when you look at this, who uses these tools? Organization tools are used by everyone. Product development tools, they have to, because the product development phase, which is the up to design phase, So product development tools, which is used by the engineering department, is nothing but which uses the all quality and design phase. All this will come under this engineering department. So engineering and design professionals will use the product development tools, whereas production tools is used by the production engineers. Production tools used by the production engineers. And statistical tools which are used by the quality engineers. The quality department is going to use these statistical tools, and also others may also can use whenever they need. So these are the four tools which they are going to use, and the who are going to use these particular tools. Who are going to use the particular tools? The organizational tools is by everyone. So which is used for what is the organizational tool? To improve the communication and understanding of the product which you are going to develop, right? So and product development tools are used by the design department and engineering department as well. Production tools, production engineers only. Statistical tools, quality engineers, and as well as some other also they can use whenever they are required. And we'll go what is organizational tools? See, if you look at this, these are the organization tools. These are the organization tools which are going to use in a particular organization. So in a particular organization tools is implemented by organization, which is need to be understood by all the employees. These these tools has to be understood by all the employees. So as we know that the TQM is nothing but it is a new way of doing business. It is a new way of doing business. So this TQM philosophy has to be adopted by each and every employee in the organization. And also computer networks, which are nothing but information how we are going to pass, like local area networks and global information networks and all those. So local area networks allows the users to share the information between the interconnected personal computers. So how that computer networks is there means local area network and as well as uh, global area network, global information network. So and we know that ISO 9000, ISO 14000, which are the standards which are set by the organization, and every employee in the organization must follow these particular such standards. And total productive maintenance is a system for keeping a plant and its equipment at their highest productive levels through the cooperation of all levels of production and maintenance. So this will be discussed in detail in the next sessions. Okay, and quality function deployment. Quality function deployment we have already discussed. This is also a tool which is called organization tool. Organization which are going to use. So quality function deployment relates what? Customer requirements. It relates the customer requirements or expectation with the technical descriptors. And information technology is also discussed about in the previous classes. And ERP software. ERP software is an enterprise resource planning software which are going to be used by the organization for data access, for the data collection, for data access, and electronic data interchange. So these are the things which are going to be used by the organization, which are called as organization tools, and these all tools has to be adapted by everyone. Now, product development tools. Product development tools are nothing but computer-aided drafting software, solid modeling software, finite element analysis software, parametric analysis software, rapid prototyping techniques, design for manufacturing and assembly techniques, failure mode and effective analysis. All these all called as product development tools, which are used. Who are going to use these product development tools? Engineering department as well as design professionals. So engineering department, what they are going to, because computer aided drafting, the computer aided drafting software is nothing but the design drawings and solid modeling software. Say for example, solid modeling, creating a solid models, and final element analysis. So use the analysis of the particular model whatever you have developed. So if you look at this CAD is nothing but computer-aided drafting, which produces the engineering production drawings and allows for a quick and easy engineering changes. So easily used with the other software used for computer CAM and as well as design for manufacturing and CNC machines. Solid modeling software is nothing but which creates a visual verification of a component. And FEA, finite element analysis, analyze and optimize the response of a system prior to the prototype development. So before going to develop a prototype, then the response of a particular response of a system which is going to be analyzed by using the FEA software, and it helps in detecting the problems early only, because we are analyzing the problem before it is going to be developed. So that's why we can identify the problems easily and early also, and allows the design team to implement alternative changes instantly. So design team can implement the alternative changes instantly, test the changes and see the effect on the quality and performance. Then it sees the effect on quality and performance. So parametric analysis software. What is the parametric analysis software? It expands the capabilities of solid modeling and as well as FEA. And FEA software by including parametric modeling from parts libraries and design optimization, automate changes, so in design by programming the software to make the decision based on the specified function, variables and other analysis criteria. So rapid prototyping is nothing but it quickly produces a physical model of a product. Techniques includes Tesla technique, DFMEA, FMEA, DFMEA design. These two are we are going to study in the next sessions. So in detail, and we'll go with the production tools. Production tools is talk about the computer aided manufacturing, computer numerical control tools, continuous process improvement, just-in-time production, virtual manufacturing software, and agile manufacturing. So what is the computer aided manufacturing? The manufacturing takes place with the help of the software, with the help of a computer, with the help of the computer. So a software, computer-aided manufacturing is nothing but a software that identifies the machine tool paths, that identifies the machine tool paths and other production parameters to optimize the machining of a part, which includes the parameters such as the machine tool feed rates, stock required, bit size, and optimal tool path. So by using all these softwares, I can use the computer-aided manufacturing. CNC is nothing but computer numerically controlled. So the in CNC machines which controls the milling machines and lathes and presses by using the computer. So it is going to control the milling machine, lathes, and as well as presses using the computer. And CPI is continuous process improvement, which I already discussed. The continuous process improvement, it is a systematic year after year study to improve the production process, by eliminating waste and rework, or scrap and rework. So reducing the scrap and cycle time, eliminating activities that do not increase the product value, and eliminating the non-conformities. So by eliminating the non-conformities and by eliminating the activities which are not adding the value to the product, so then we can improve the process. That is what we can call as continuous process improvement. Continuous improvement. And just in time is nothing but whenever you require, the products are manufactured. So it is a process control method. And production philosophy that provides parts, components, and assemblies to production at the exact time they are needed. Whenever they need it, then they are going to use this. And less inventory of raw materials, because we are not keeping the stock. So because whenever they require, we are going to manufacture it. That is what we can call the just in time manufacturing. So just in time, one problem with the just in time is the reduction of inventory to critically low levels. Suppliers with excellent quality products and services, as well as a knowledge of production lead and process times, must be used. So here the problem is with it may go to the low levels. The inventory may go levels also. So always we need to maintain some buffers in order to meet the demands. Okay. So just in time has only one problem with the reduction of inventory. Then what is virtual manufacturing? Virtual manufacturing software. So which enables the production engineers to create a factory on their desktop. It's a kind of the complete factory, which is in creating a complete factory virtually on a computer. So engineers can analyze and debug the production facilities. Engineers can analyze and debug the production facilities prior to the capital equipment investment. Before going to invest, they are going to analyze and debug the production facilities. And agile manufacturing or lean manufacturing, a manufacturing environment that responds quickly to the marketplace demands, and by quickly incorporating the new technologies into the products and easily adapts to many different customer needs. This is about the agile manufacturing. And statistical tools. What are the statistical tools which are going to use in the particular organization? So the design of experiment, statistical process control. So design of experiments and statistical process control. What is the design of experiment? So a numerical study that identifies and studies many variables in a process or product at once, that are critical parameters which cause the significant variation in the process. Next, we can go with the three approaches to DOER: classical approach, and Taguchi's, and shining. So these are the three approaches are there into the design of experiments. And we are going to use a mix of these three approaches. We are going to use and any mix means like classical and Taguchi, or Taguchi and shining. So you can use the mix of these three approaches. And because of the DOE identifies the variables, which should be used before SPC. So that whatever the variables which are going to use, the design of experiments is going to identify what are the variables you are going to use. So the SPC used for what? SPC used to control the variables, right? So DOE identifies the variables and SPC control the variables. So DOE should be happen before the SPC. So it should be used before SPC. Otherwise, the wrong variables may be monitored by SPC. The other wrong variables may be monitored by SPC. And what is SPC? The SPC is the primary TQM tool which I have already studied, statistical process control, and it is a charting technique used to monitor the process variation. As we told that there is a charting technique which are used to monitor the process variation and correct the problems So before producing the scrap, before going to produce the scrap, we are going to charting technique is used to monitor the process variation and correct the problems before producing the scrap. So because the DOE is a numerical study. It is a numerical study and that identifies the variables in a process. Variables in a process. Whereas the statistical process is to monitor the variables. To monitor the variables which are identified by the DOE. Which are identified by the DOE. So next. These are the four tools which are used: organization tools, product development tools, then production tools, then statistical tools. These are the tools which are used by the quality by design. Quality by design. Without that, quality by design will not be effective. Will not be effective. If you use proper mix of these, which use proper mix of all these tools, then we can achieve. Then we can achieve the reduction in the lead time. Which you can achieve the reduction in the lead time. Next, we'll go to the misconception and pitfalls. Misconception and pitfalls. So, what are the misconception and pitfalls by the quality by design? Quality by design has the misconception that quality by design is not a simultaneous design, and in the sense, this may be so, but it's possible that they have redefined quality by design to fit their methods. Okay, the list of some common misconceptions are quality by design. One is quality by design is not simultaneous design. It is not a simultaneous design and production. Nothing is produced. So we cannot start. We cannot start the production. We cannot start the production until it proves by or until it agrees by all the departments. Until it agrees by all the departments. So nothing is produced until all designs are agreed upon. Agreed upon between all the producers required to fabricate the product. So overall required, all the producers who are required to fabricate the product, all the departments which are engineering, business, and as well as marketing. All these are departments are to be agreed. Then we can start the production. So quality by design is not a simultaneous design and production. It will not go parallel, design and production parallelly. Once the designs are all are approved, once the designs all are approved, then only we can go for the production. Then only you can go for production. So quality by design is not a quick fix or magical formula for success. So it is not a quality by design will not give you a success. So it is not a quick fix because we are here to use the concurrency approach. We need to use the concurrency approach to identify all the problems before it starts the production. Before it starts the production. So that's why it is not a quick fix or magical formula for success. The people involved in the quality by design group must be specialists before they are incorporated in the group. So they should have a proper knowledge about the product development and as well as reducing the lead times. And quality by design does not require multiple tests. It does not require multiple tests, and it can multiple tests of the product and to be conducted until the optimum design achieved. So we won't go for the multiple tests. We'll give having only one pass test. So in the quality by design applies only a one pass design. It one pass design where the product passes testing the first time itself. So the first time itself it is going to be pass. That design is going to be passed because the quality by design does not require multiple tests because we are designing the product in the way by taking early inputs itself. So that's why it is not required multiple tests. It not require multiple tests. So it quality by design applies a one pass design where the product passes testing the first time itself. Quality by design is often confused. The quality by design is often confused with the inspection techniques also. Inspection techniques used by the TQM, because the quality by design is often confused with the inspection techniques which are used by in a TQM environment. So in the quality by design is highly dependent on TQM. Quality by design is highly dependent on a TQM environment, but the same inspection methods are not required. But the same in method, whatever the TQM uses the inspection methods, that those methods are not required by the quality by design, quality by design. And also the products quality by design consider and applies what was learned about the process capability in the TQM setting. The quality by design, it considers and applies what was learned in the about the process capabilities in the TQM setting, in the TQM setting. So that SPC is going to help in this particular in identifying the process capabilities. So thus products are stringently designed well within the process capability to facilitate the SPC. So with all these are all misconceptions and pitfalls about the quality by design. So with this, I will stop.